Shalom, shalom. First, I want to start off by giving all honor, praises, and infinite glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly called God and Jesus. I want to start give double honors unto the elders, apostles, and bishops, the GMS Great Millstone, who rule well, teach and edify, and peace and blessings into you. Sincere Akim, Wa'akwat in his house of the faith. My name is Ishai from the GMS Arizona Church. I'm not a Wamra Tazak. Going to make an edifying video going into this little excerpt right here. It says Trump just signed a directive to allow AI chips to be inside human brains. 65,000 electrodes, paper thin, wirelessly powered. Here's what that means for the next decade. Okay, so these devils are rolling out these laws and legislations for the RFID micro chip, which is the MOTB, Mark of the Beast. Okay, that's what it is. You know, Elder Apostle Tahara's channel, I got it laid out real flat. You know, what is channels? What is the, 666 Mark of the Beast? And it got an image of it, man. It's a RFID micro chip, man. But Salaki. This is Isaiah, where chapter 10 and verse 1, it says, Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. You know, we understand that these devils, make, a lot of unrighteous decrees, man. They write in laws and legislations and certain things that really, nowadays it's going to get to the point where it just starts taking away your constitutional rights, man. Martial law, certain of these controls that they're going to start having over the internet. I mean, you could just go ahead and right now throw away your first through like fifth constitutional right, damn near. You ain't gonna have the right to bear arms, because you bear arms, they gonna shoot your black ass. You ain't gonna have the right to freedom of speech. They gonna treat you like Kim Jong-un in this mug. If you say anything that's against these devils and against their NWO, they just gonna come snatch you up out your crib, man. Because you best believe, if you following this truth, man, if you watching these videos, and if you making these videos, man, your name's in a database somewhere, man. They might have a devil assigned just to you. Just like how the Lord has an angel assigned to you, he's watching over you. Satan got a demon assigned to you, watching over you, throwing up stumbling blocks in your way. And this devil Esau got some pasty old Edomite in the CIA office, tracking your activity, man. Because ultimately they're making these unrighteous decrees that are going to come and get the believers of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that are speaking against these devils, man. Because as we know in Jeremiah 28 verse 8, the prophet spoke against, kings and great nations, man. Prophesying the downfall of Babylon. That's, and that's what the Lord has got set up right now. Beginning with Elder Apostles on down, who has a sincere, sound doctrine of the Lord. The Lord is really, has raised up his prophets in the end times, who have taught me this truth, and many others. And our elders are bringing out the truth about this devil, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, so we understand what's going on. All right, so like, he's a little off topic, but we'll go back to the fact that he made this directive to allow AI hips to be put into human brains, and really that's just the comfortability of people, man. He gonna get people comfortable with the idea, here, come volunteer, we'll give you $2,000, $3,000 if you take this RFID micro chip, and everything will be cool. And it's going to get to a point where they're going to start, 1 Corinthians 4 chapter and the 9th verse, and the apostles shall come last. They're going to start going for the believers of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai with force. They're going to pose certain things that a lot of people are going to fall for, man. They're going to put pressure on the man in his household. We have to be aware of these things before they come, and we have to try, to beg the Lord to have that mercy, so that in that time, the Lord gives us a spirit to stand against these devils, man. This is Romans chapter 11 and verse 4. And that reads, But what saith the answer of the Lord unto him. I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal, man. And who's that 7,000 men? That's spiritually representing completion. 7,000, representing the 144,000 that should stand against this devil, man. That should stand stiffly for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because ultimately, if you take that RFID micro chip, you can become a tech hack zombie. A tech hack zombie. You can't think for yourself. And Esau Edom is going to be your God, your power. You can't even try to believe the Lord because you're going to be tech hacked, man. They're going to have control over your whole everything, your thoughts and your everything. Okay, these devils can completely shut you out. And we have to be aware, man. We heading into these times and preparing our spirits for these tough times ahead, man. Because these devils are also rolling out that 6G. And that 6G is going to give them the technological capabilities, to even, to have like no latency with these things, man. They're going to be able to turn your stuff off and just like that. And this is a little graph. I don't want to go too deeply into this, but I figured I'd just throw it up there. 1989, 1992 to 2000, 3G, 4G introduced, and then 5G in about 2019. 5G, you had speeds of about 10 gigabytes per second. Talking about the latency and the frequency, which is basically how sharp and how fast and the connectivity level, man. 6G, which is, they got it at 2030, man. These devils got that project 2030, but the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai can hasten it to happen even quicker. Because real quick, we know in Revelations chapter 12, because ultimately, man, these devils don't get to decide when they want to roll out with this thing, man. These devils don't get to decide when they get a pounce. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai ruleth in the kingdom of man. Okay? The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. All right, the Lord ultimately controls both sides of these things, man. Revelation 12 and verse 12, rejoice, Salaki. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So, man, they saying Project 2030, man, that thing could get bumped up a few years, man. And we talking within months, man. Within months, this whole thing could turn the fuck upside down, man. Within months. They can crash that dollar within 3 to 6 months. And usher in that new currency, man. The whole society could fall in a matter of time, in a matter of no time. So to hell with that Project 2030, man. This is on the Lord's time. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai decides when all these things happen, and He will reveal it to His servants, the prophets. Not that we know the exact time and date, but we have a more sure word of prophecy. We can see, okay, this has happened, that has happened. What's the next major thing to happen, man? And ultimately, we looking at the mandation of the RFID microchip, because you got that third woe, coming up upon the precipice of this earth. You have famines, pestilence. You got all these certain things. It's all gonna start toppling over each other, man. It's only a matter of time, okay? And these devils are seeing that. So of course they're coming down with that great wrath. It's only, and people love to be like a frog in a boiling water, man. You put a frog in a boiling water pot, it's gonna just stay there. It's not gonna care. It's just gonna post up, grab a seat, and like nothing happening. But that as the temperature gets hotter and hotter, that frog ain't gonna jump out until it gets scolded to death, because it's just chilling, And that's what's happening to all these mindless idiots here on earth, man. These people that are not knowing the scriptures, these people that aren't of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But the Lord has revealed unto His men, what is to happen, man. And His truth goes out through the four corners of the earth, and then the end shall come. These people refuse to even hearken unto it. You 2/3 out there that the apostles and elders have been preaching unto you to turn your ways, and you haven't turned your ways. Well, guess what? You have no excuse now, man. All right, the Lord has come, with a sword, man, as the scriptures say. The slain of the Lord shall be many. A lot of you devils out there, man, you 2/3 monkeys, all right? The Lord has you prepared for a sword, man. But launch here is saying 1 terabyte per second. 1 terabyte per second is an immense amount to download. in 1 second. That's insane. The difference between 1 terabyte and 1 gigabyte is a whole different realm, because I'm pretty sure a terabyte is 100 gigabytes. You know, that's a whole different dimension of speed that we're talking about. I don't know if you bros are, you know, have a PS5 or an Xbox. They usually come in either 500 gigabytes or one. No. So a terabyte is probably 1,000. Let me search it up, man. Let me double check myself. Just talking and shit. Because I think a terabyte might be 1,000 gigabytes, yeah. So 1,000 gigabytes, okay? And 1 terabyte. You know, that's a major jump from going 10 gigabytes to 1,000, okay? And that's so that they can run these RFID micro chips, man. They're going to have total control of people, you know? And, you know, that's all I wanted to get on that. Just to put that in perspective. I don't know if you bros or sisters, man, have an Xbox or a PS5, you know, and you downloaded video games on there, and you be like, damn, it's taking 5 hours, you know, to download like a video game that's 23, 43, 63 gigabytes, you know. We're talking about speed so fast that you could download a full storage of those things in 1 second. Just to put that into perspective for those that understand that analogy, man. I mean, we're talking about speed so quick, there's going to be no lag, no latency. So they could turn you idiots off whenever, wherever, whyever, you know? They could straight up have you, you know, for you doing this and then click of a button, boom, the second that button clicked, you know? But anyways, let's get Revelation chapter 13. All right? This is Revelation chapter 13. And we want to start at verse 13. It says, and he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. And those miracles is his technology. That's Esau Edom's miracles, man. His technology. With his technology, he's able to make the lame smart. He's able to make the maimed walk. He's able to make idiots smart, okay? You know, with this technology, you know, and ultimately, man, the Lord's going to come back and destroy all this madness, man. You know, he only has that because the Lord has ultimately given him that power, you know. But it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image of the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live, man. Because we in Rome in the rebirth, man, the Roman Empire, okay? You know, and these devils going to come back with that same wrath, man. That same total control, because back in the Romans times, you know, with that new, you know, the new weapons that they was using, man, they put belt to ass on the whole world. You know, they put straight belt to ass. You know, and Esau Edom, you know, he has that same prerogative now. You know, it might not seem that he's going to be so blunt. You know, people of America can never think that these devils could get like that. But does a snake ever show you its fangs until it's ready to bite your ass? You know, when you see a snake just chilling around, you don't ever see his fangs, man. You know, when a snake be just moving around, he always keep his mouth closed, you know, and until it's ready to come in and just jab you, you know. And it says in the verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the beast. The image of the beast should speak and cause that many as would worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right, because if you don't take this RFID micro chip, you know, Esau Edom, he gonna kill you, man. But guess what? The Lord gonna lift up a standard. So you may die, but then you be brought back, man. Change in the twinkling of an eye. A lot of us gonna have to die in this truth, man. Die behind Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. We have the spirit to be able to rise against these devils, man, with boldness and without fear, man. You know? To be as bold as a lion, man. You know, to look at these devils in the face of death and still stand so stiffly for our Lord. You know, that's the goal, man. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get out of here, man. You know, to complete the mission, you have to go against all odds. You know, this is an underdog story. You know, this is our judgment, and this is an exercise of humility that the Lord has shown unto his elect. Because after this, man, is the kingdom of Yahushua. The kingdom of Yahushua, where Israel is going to be on top forever. You know, in the kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. Forever and ever. These are they that put off the mortal and put on the immortal, man. And that's what we're trying to do. Getting away from this devilish world, man. And Micah 2:10 spirit, man. Arise ye and depart. For this is not your rest. It is sorely polluted. It shall destroy you with sudden destruction. Roughly paraphrasing, man. With a sword destruction. You know, so we don't even want to be here any fucking ways, man. We want to get out of here, man. This place is terrible. I mean, it's truly terrible. These, you know, the Elder Kasai brought out, you know, these devils even be doping up the cement, the asphalt with fucking pork, man. Salakia for my vulgarity. Salakia. It's getting zealous, man. But, I mean, man, this place is bad. Straight up. Well, let's keep reading. And he says, he causes all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark. And that word mark goes in the word charagma, which is an implantation, man. It's going to implant these RFID micro C-hips into you people. It says rich, it says great and rich, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive the charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. And that no man might buy or sell. So, and also another thing, the mark of the beast is not sin for all those that are saying it. So you telling me that you got to go look at another man's wife's butt in a lustful way to be able to buy a bag of chips? That's stupid, man. I mean, that you don't even really want to entertain that. That's stupid, okay? The RFID micro C-hip is the mark of the beast, man, without a doubt. And it says that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, okay? So, and ultimately, man, you know, the Lord has set up his prophets to tell this message, man. The Lord has set up his prophets to bring out these prophecies, and whether you hearken and whether you're not, you know, but it is going to happen. Esau, Edom is going to show his fangs, and his devil is going to come down, man. And guess what? The Lord's going to stand up for those that are his, those written in the book of life, those that are actually of the elect, man. They'll persevere through this time, you know, and even in the times before that, because we already know we're in Jacob's trouble, but the height of it has yet to, you know, come to fruition. You know, when this devil's coming down with that strict martial law, out there trying to get anybody and everybody C-hipped and thrown into prison, man, because some of us going to have to get thrown into prison as well. You know, these devils got a whole lot going on. And, you know, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, through this word and through the spirit of the Lord who's put his spirit on the prophets to tell us, we're one step ahead of these idiots, man. You know, we know what the hell they're trying to do. You know, and that's a blessing. But let's finish off with Daniel 12:1. And we'll close out. And it says, and at that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. Michael the archangel, man. One of the four. The Lord's going to send him down here, and he's going to stand up for the children of Israel, man. For the elect. Okay? And it says, which standeth for the children of the people, and there shall be a time of trouble, which was since there was a nation, even to that the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that was found written in the book. The elect, man. You know? And we hoping to be a part of that number, man. Because 2/3 going to have to be cut off and die. 2/3 going to be cut off and die. You know, we not trying to die, man, for unrighteously. You know, we want to strive unto death, you know, in hopes that our crown is right there, man. You know? Hey, man. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to lastly give all honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash, Shalom.